Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Chloe and today is a Disney Q&A for you guys. I put a little Q&A box over on our Instagram at Cloe and Dan Vlogs and asked you guys to send some questions our way so we can answer some things about ourselves. Pretty much put it out to anything Disney, being a Disney mom, baby, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's just jump right in and get started. I'm using my phone to film because I found that it's easier for me to do a quick setup with my phone. So I wrote down all of the questions on a little notebook over here. So if you see me looking over this way, that's what I'm doing. First question up was favorite Disney resort. So that's a tough question for me. My favorite resort changes pretty much every time I go to Disney, depending on the memories I have there, what we do, what resort it is. Like, it just always changes. Right now, I would say my top favorite resorts are the Polynesian and Boardwalk. Polynesian has always been my favorite resort from when I was a little kid and we'd be on the monorail, we'd be passing it and being like, can we please stay at the Polynesian? And now that I've gotten to stay there a couple times, it's just solidified my love for that resort. It's not Dan's favorite resort just because there's no covered walkway. So if you're there and it's raining out, you're gonna get wet. So that's his complaint with Polynesian, but I feel like it's worth it to stay there. But we haven't stayed in the new tower. I would like to stay there in the future. I'm kind of plotting to stay there possibly if we go for spring break to Disney World next year. So that's kind of my thought process there, but Polynesian's definitely at the top of my list. My other favorite resort, like I said, is Boardwalk. We usually stay there for our December Christmas Disney trip and I love staying at the Boardwalk. The location just cannot be beat it's like a really good midpoint between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Like, to be fair, you could stay at Beach Club and be right outside the back door of Epcot. But for me, I'd rather be closer to two parks or like an equidistance from two parks versus just really close to the one park. And I just love Boardwalk. I love that you can take the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios. You could walk to Hollywood Studios. You could take the boat to Hollywood Studios. And then you can also walk or take the boat to Epcot. Like, there's just so many options. The grounds are beautiful. The resort is beautiful. The only downside, in my opinion, to Boardwalk is that some of the rooms can be really, really far from the lobby. Like, the room that we had in December was a trek, but it was nice because it was super far away from the lobby. It was so quiet. So yeah, those are my top two favorite. Third would probably be Wilderness Lodge, just because you can't beat the grounds and how beautiful they are there. And that's Dan's favorite, I think, is Wilderness Lodge. He has a hard time picking favorites, but I think he would say Wilderness Lodge. But yeah, those are our like top resorts that we love to stay at. But yeah, those are like my top favorites. I would never say no to any Disney resort, but if I had to pick, those would be squeak it up to the top there. Next question, top tips for traveling with a baby or a toddler. I mean, that one's tough because I feel like everything that everybody says is what you should do. Go with the flow of what your child or baby wants to do. If they need a nap time, make sure they're getting a nap time. But beware that those nap times might change. Like, when we went in December, Juniper at the time was napping usually around like 12:30. She would most days not nap until like 2 or 3. So our schedule was completely off. We just kind of went off of what her cues were. So if she seemed tired, we let her nap. If she seemed hungry, we would eat. So definitely following the cues of what your baby needs is like my top tip. My second top tip is have a stroller that you know your child, baby, toddler, whatever you have, is going to love. We have the Chico Bravo travel system. It's definitely a bulkier stroller, but we know she can sleep in it. She loves it. She's comfortable. It fits her well. The only thing that's annoying is like the buckle can be kind of cumbersome, but other than that, we love it. Has a great storage spot, and basically just have a stroller that you know is good. You can use it. You can fold it up pretty easily because that's also important. And also, I would say my other top tip along with a stroller is to bring a reusable bag for the bottom of the stroller if you have like a storage area, because you have to pick up everything that's in the stroller to go through security. So if you can have a bag that's already filled up and just pop that bad boy out, carry it with you, put it back, bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy. You also need to pull out everything to fold up your stroller to go onto like a bus. So it's definitely a nice thing to have in your stroller to make your life a little bit easier. My other top tip I would say is don't be afraid to travel with a baby. We have traveled with Juniper at 3 months, 6 months, 11 months, and 15 months. And then we'll be going, well, I'll be going with my mom and my sister and Juniper for a girls trip in May when she's about 22 months old. And we have had fun at every single age. There's no bad age for Disney. I think I might actually do a video too of like the pros and cons of each of those ages of Juniper, because all of them were so fun and like the cons weren't really cons, but if you're gonna pick between them, there might be something that might sway you more towards one or the other. So that video should be coming soon, I think. I want to film that. But yeah, don't be afraid to travel with babies, toddlers. Disney is very family friendly, obviously. They make it so easy. There are baby care centers in all the parks. If you want to go nurse, if you need anything, they have diapers and bottles and wipes and pacifiers and just everything you could possibly need for an infant or a toddler if you forgot to bring it with you. And also there's Walmart Plus and Amazon Fresh and all those things that you can immediately get stuff to your resort if you need it. So there's just no reason to not go, and it is so much fun to see their reactions because they genuinely believe that these things are happening in front of them. That's really Mickey Mouse. That's really Elsa on a float. So yeah, don't be afraid to go with a toddler. I think those are my top tips. If I have any more, I will include them in that video about Juniper's different ages that we brought her. Speaking of my girls trip, the next question is, when is our next trip? So my next trip with Juniper is, like I said, with my mom and my sister for a girls trip over Memorial Day weekend, and I am so excited. It's Juniper's first official girls trip. The last one was when I was 4 months pregnant, and I'm just so excited to have another girls trip to go on. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're staying at the Grand Floridian. It's just gonna be a magical, magical vacation. And then after that trip, our next trip with Dan and Juniper and myself is in July for me and Dan's usual anniversary trip that we like to do in July. It falls between his birthday and my birthday, and this time it will be right on our anniversary. So it's really fun to go and celebrate together, and we'll have Juniper with us. So we're staying at Fort Wilderness, doing a cruise on the Disney Magic, and then back to Disney for one night at Old Key West. So I am so excited. Yay. Next question is, where do I get my clothes for, I think, vacations? It just said, where do you get your clothes? I'm assuming you meant for Disney vacations. So most of my clothes, I will say, come from usually Shein. And then if it's not Shein, usually Lulu's, sometimes Target, or Disney Store. Those are pretty much the four main places I think that I purchase stuff for Disney vacations in terms of like clothes. Accessories, obviously Disney Store, Etsy, anywhere you can buy LOUNGEFLYS from. What else? Bobble Bar, all that good fun stuff for accessories. And then for Juniper stuff, I would say I get some of her clothes from Shein, which when we went on our first trip with her, I had bought like a ton of Shein stuff, and then I was kind of like, not that I don't like Shein, just kind of wishy-washy, like, are they as cute as they should be? Because they're only little for so long. So I ended up getting like a bunch of stuff from Etsy for her, and the Disney Store, Target. I mean, you can find Disney clothes everywhere. Zara, Target, Walmart, H&M, Gap, Old Navy, Target. Did I say Target? Target, Walmart? Target and Walmart always have so many cute things. So hers really come from all over the place. But it's just so fun to dress her, and I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad when she's old enough to tell me no, or that she doesn't want to wear them. I hope that she just creates her own style and tells me what she wants to wear, and then I can just kind of match her. But yeah, I love shopping for our little matching outfits. Right now I'm working on our July Disney trip outfits, and they're coming together so cute. Can't wait to show you guys. Might post a little YouTube short here soon because I love making my little Canva templates of all the outfits, and they're just looking so cute. I don't even care what the outfits actually end up looking like, but the Canva templates look so cute. Well, also for Juniper, I don't know if I mentioned Janie and Jack and Hannah Anderson. I don't buy a ton of stuff from them just because they are expensive, but it's nice to get a few cute pieces here and there to zhuzh up her outfits. Next question, how many LOUNGEFLYS do you have? Can you do a collection video? I don't know how many Loungeflies I have. Probably quite a few. A lot. But I do love them and I do use them. I try to bring as many as I possibly can on each vacation. I wish I could be somebody who could just use one Loungefly for a whole trip, but if I was going to be that person, there would be no point to have as many Loungeflies as I do, so I really do try to use them if I'm going to have them. But I do love them. It is nice too because my mom and my sister both get Loungeflies, so a lot of times we'll share between the three of us. Like on this upcoming trip, my mom's borrowing some Loungeflies from me. On my next trip, I'm borrowing some from my sister. Like, so we kind of swap between the three of us, and we always give back the bag to the original owner, but it is nice to have kind of an expanded collection other than just the ones that I own. But yeah, I do have a lot. I had filmed a collection video. I don't even know when that would have been. It could have been the January that I was like just found out I was pregnant. I can't remember if it was that year or the year before. But I never posted it. It like got too far away from the Christmas time and like the Christmas tree was in the background. So I need to film that again. It's a lot of work to get them all out of my basement to film the video. But I think it would be a fun video to film and kind of for me to remember what bags I have. Because literally I was thinking about outfits for my upcoming Disney trip in July for Fort Wilderness. And I was like, ugh, I don't have any backpacks to use while we're at Fort Wilderness. And I am limiting myself to one bag for Fort Wilderness because that's a pretty long trip. So I need to just pick one bag for that whole time we're there. And I was like, oh, I don't have any bags. I'm gonna have to buy a new one. And then I was looking for something else in the basement and I realized I have a perfect cowboy mini jean Loungefly that I used one time at Wilderness Lodge on our last day when we went last year with my whole family to Disney World for my brother's 30th birthday. So I have a perfect bag. I just forgot. And I mean, not the end of the world. I didn't go and buy a bag to use for Fort Wilderness, but it just goes to show how many bags I have and how easy it is for me to forget what bags I have. And you guys also let me know if you want me to do a collection video. Would you want me to include all Loungeflies, all Danielle Nicole, all Stony Clover Lane? Because I just love Disney bags, not just Loungeflies in general. So you'll have to let me know. I probably will include them all though. Next question, do you pin trade? No, I collect pins, but I don't generally pin trade, if that makes sense. So I have collected pins, I think since, I want to say like 2006 might have been the first trip that I got a pin. And I had just gotten one pin that trip. Me and my sister both got one pin, and ever since I've been like obsessed. Like usually when we go on a Disney vacation, I get, I don't know, you've seen the videos. I bought a lot less recently just because I have so many Disney pins and gotta cut it off somewhere. But I don't generally pin trade. We do have a couple that we bought in December that were Juniper's pins. Dan mistakenly picked up like a hidden Mickey mystery pack that is intended for people to use to go and trade. I wasn't paying attention to what he picked out, and so it has nothing in there that she would ever really want. Had like Ichabod and I don't remember what else was in there. I'll have to insert the clip here if I can find it. Got a mystery pouch, mystery pin pouch. You want to open it up?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's see what's in her mystery pin pouch. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 2 pins. What's the first one? Ooh, I think that's Maleficent, Ichabod. It's a cool, scary guy. What do you think? What do you think? He's cool, huh? No, don't eat him. Let's show him. There he is. Okay, let's see the second one. A bug. We're gonna have to trade these. But yeah, so we have those pins somewhere that we need to trade, and I just always forget. Like literally I carried around those pins for the rest of that trip and completely forgot to look at any pin board because it's just not something that we do. Maybe when Juniper's a little bit older, if she wants to pin trade, we'll do it, because I think it is fun for kids to like look on the boards and see what they can find. My only gripe with pin trading is that there's so many fake pins out there that I would never want her to trade for a fake pin, a real pin for a fake pin. So that's the tough part. But I guess if you think it's a cute pin, in the end, it doesn't really matter as long as you're not trying to resell it down the road as a real pin. But for me, that's kind of where I don't like pin trading. But then you could find people who gave the good pins to the pin board, if you're lucky, and you can get a really good pin. So, I mean, I get it, but no, generally we don't pin trade, but possibly in the future. I do, however, love that pin trading has kind of come back in full swing. I really want to get at least one of the Starbucks mystery pin tumblers that just came out. I'm trying to decide between a Magic Kingdom one and a Hollywood Studios one. I'm definitely not buying all 4 parks because if I came home with 4 Starbucks tumblers, I think Dan would lose his mind. We have so many tumblers that our cabinet of them is already overflowing, and I generally like a Stanley sized tumbler anyway, but the Starbucks cup would be cute maybe for like my work desk. So I plan on buying one of them. I just don't know if I want Magic Kingdom or Epcot, or Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. The Epcot one, a lot of the pins are not my favorite, and then Animal Kingdom is just not my favorite park. I like Animal Kingdom, but it's not like the top favorite. So between Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom, I'm thinking Magic Kingdom just because it's Magic Kingdom and it probably has the castle in the design. So hoping that those don't sell out by the time we go in like a month and a half, but we'll see. Next question is Disney bucket list. Like, what is on your Disney bucket list? So the most attainable thing in my Disney bucket list is I would like to stay at every Disney resort. And after my summer trip, I will have checked that off if we stay at Fort Wilderness in Old Key West. And I've only tried to change the Old Key West a handful of times to something else. So I'm really trying to force myself to stay at Old Key West. I've heard great things. We're staying in a 1-bedroom, so it'll be beautiful and large, and I'm excited to see the resort and try and eat at Olivia's and just enjoy all the things that are Old Key West. It's just not a resort that like generally calls to me. And if we're gonna pay deluxe prices, I'd rather pay for like Boardwalk or Beach Club or Grand Floridian or Polynesian. So to be fair, Old Key West is definitely on the lower end of cost for deluxe resorts, but I do really want to check off all of the Disney resorts. And obviously once Lakeside opens, then I will have to stay there too. But for now, this will check off all the resorts. If we're including like DVC accommodations, technically then I wouldn't have stayed at the Polynesian Tower. I don't know if I generally include that just because I've stayed at the Polynesian and I've stayed in the Villa side, just not the new tower. But like I said, I would like to stay at the new tower next year, hopefully, fingers crossed. Outside of that tower though, I think I've stayed in all of the DVC accommodations too. I'll have to look at a list because I really think I might have checked all those off. I haven't stayed in a treehouse at Saratoga. But does that feel like a separate accommodation? I don't know. And that's not like super attainable. Like that would be a splurge for me, Dan, and Juniper. Like that would have to be a group trip, and like the room layout doesn't really fit our family. So I'm not counting that. Other than staying at all the Disney resorts for Disney bucket list, I would love to visit all of the Disney parks in the world. That probably won't happen. If I could just make it to Tokyo, I would be super happy. I do have a cousin who lives in China at the moment, so I could make an excuse to go to Shanghai to visit him and his fiance, soon-to-be wife, but it's really hard to get into China with the visas, so possibly won't ever make it there. But I really would like to make it to Tokyo Disney. That is definitely like a top bucket list item for me, but also very hard to do with a toddler. More so, I just don't want to travel time zones with a toddler. A more attainable bucket list item would be getting to Disneyland for the 70th anniversary, which is like this upcoming year. I say attainable. I don't know how attainable it is just with the plans that we already have. My sister's getting married next year, so I need to see. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head how long the 70th anniversary celebration is going. Like Disney usually does like 1.5 years. So I have to see if it maybe goes far enough into next year that maybe we could just do it after my sister's wedding, but we'll see. And my last bucket list goal would be to have dinner at Club 33 at some point in my life. Originally, that bucket list goal was to do that before I turned 33 or on my 33rd birthday. Obviously it didn't happen because I'm 33, turning 34 this year. So I guess we'll just say I made it into Club 33 after turning 33 if I ever make it there. But yeah, that's another like bucket list item. Yeah, I would say staying in the Cinderella suite, but I don't know. That's never gonna happen, and I feel like I'd be so stressed out about getting videos and pictures and content that it would probably not even be fun. So I'm gonna just say that's not on my bucket list. Next question is, do you have any plans to go to Universal and or Epic Universe? I have been watching, like literally today is the day I think that the media embargo has basically been lifted for Universal or Epic, and all the influencers are riding everything. The Ministry of Magic ride looks amazing. The whole park looks really, really cool. The new hotel looks really cool. I would love to go visit Epic, and Dan is really craving a Universal trip because he hasn't been since 2011, 2010, maybe even longer. I can't remember what year we went as a family to Universal and Disney World. It was a long time ago. And we were supposed to do our Universal trip going in 2020, and our whole trip got canceled. So we definitely need to make that up, but I would like to wait until Epic includes Express Pass in at least one of the hotels. Right now you can buy it separately, and it doesn't even include, I think, Ministry of Magic. There's like 3 or 4 rides that aren't included. So I don't know. We don't like waiting in line. I would also be interested in possibly doing like a VIP tour there because I think those are not that expensive. It would probably be easier to get on those rides that are not included in Express Pass, but lots of thoughts floating in my head. I'm thinking probably sometime next year, so hopefully we'll see. Probably need to bring a babysitter for Juniper because I don't think there's very many toddler friendly rides in Epic, but we'll see. Next question is, would you do the dining plan again? And yes, I would. We're actually doing it on our upcoming girls trip for May. It just makes things so much easier, even if you're not saving money, just to have everything paid for, not have to worry about, oh, should I order a drink at this restaurant, or should I save the money, or should I get a cheaper entree and not get the one that I really want because it saves $10 here or $20 there. Like, it's just so nice to have everything paid for other than tips, and be able to get snacks that we might not otherwise get, or get a Trenta-sized Starbucks. Like, all of those things are just so fun to get with the dining plan. Once it's already paid for, it's paid for. Like, everything is covered other than one dinner we have to pay out of pocket, but that's beside the point. Overall, it's going to be super fun to have, and we get refillable mugs. Like, I'm just so excited to have the dining plan again because it's just so convenient. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm excited to do it again. So yes, obviously we would do it again. We're looking at adding it on to our July trip. I do need to do some math and see if it makes sense to do it on the July trip, but it probably does because I think we're at least going to do 1 to 2 character dining meals. Hopefully not 2, but at least 1. And usually if we're doing 1, it just, the math works out. And even if it's like kind of close, I think it'll just be nice to have everything paid for the first part of our trip. Plus we'll get a refillable mug. We can use that on the cruise to like go get pop from the machine. Obviously it's free for everybody, but just to have like a tumbler that we didn't have to pack with us to go to Florida, like we can get one in there. So I think I'm just talking myself into it, but yeah, I think we're going to do it in July as well. It's just so nice to have. I love it. You have to make sure it makes sense for you, because there are some people that don't do a sit down and a quick service every single day, or you do just 2 quick services, or you just eat 1 quick service and you're not super hungry the whole day. You definitely have to figure out what makes sense for your family. But if you're going to do a quick service and a sit down and at least 1 character meal, it's probably worth looking into. So something to think about. Last question is favorite souvenir, and that's a tough question for me. I would say I probably have like a top 3 favorite souvenirs. I would say like a Disney crew neck or sweater, ears, and pins are probably like my top 3 things that I generally will buy on a Disney trip. I guess if I include Juniper in that favorite souvenir category, my favorite souvenir for her would be like a stuffed animal, because she just loves a Disney stuffed animal, especially like the babies ones. Like she just, well, she loves any stuffed animal, but she really does like those baby stuffed animals. I wouldn't say Loungeflies because I generally don't buy Loungeflies on vacation. There's no room in my suitcase to bring home a whole Loungefly. I think I've bought a Loungefly once in Disney. I don't even know if I bought it in Disney. The one I'm thinking of is the original pumpkin Loungefly, but I don't actually know if I bought that in Disney or if I bought it when I got home. I don't know. But yeah, those are like my top 3 favorite things to buy in Disney. In fact, I was just going through my Disney sweaters last night because the whole top of our closet is all of my like sweaters and cardigans and Disney crew necks and spirit jerseys and all that stuff. And it was kind of like all falling all over the place. So I went through and was like, I'm going to get rid of some sweaters that I just don't wear anymore, or things that are stained or whatever. Well, I got rid of one. But if you guys would like to see a Disney sweater, crew neck, spirit jersey collection, I think I'm going to do a YouTube short of that soon. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any other questions for us. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!